Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Rangerallen. So we're gonna be watching some iRacing gameplay. So I've been playing iRacing lately. I tried Forza. That shit sucked. To be honest, bro, Forza is so fucking unsafe. Like, you just feel like no matter how safe you drive, you're gonna have some fucking idiot just gonna run right into you for no reason other than because they can't drive. And as you're gonna see right here, this man going to hit the dude right in front of me. So I'm so glad that that did not end my fucking race, because I can't tell you how many times somebody else fucked me up. And it ruined my whole race, all because some people just don't know how to drive. They don't know how to drive. They fuck your whole race up, and then it's your fault. And then iRacing fucks you over. So, as you can see, like, that's how you break. Like, as you can see, don't hit people there. And don't be like that guy spinning out. It was so many spin outs, just crashes. You gonna see it's another one right here. He gonna spin out right here, my bad. He gonna spin out right here. I could have taken that space to the left. I wasn't paying attention. The guy behind me took that space, and so he ended up getting ahead of me. So yeah, that was that. When I tell you, bro, iRacing is fun, but iRacing can be so fucking tedious sometimes. Sometimes you feel like when you play this game, like, you're gonna fucking struggle. Like, you see, bro, people going out, and I think it was another. Oh, it wasn't this one. It was one where the dude turned, and as he's going in, he's trying to cut me off, so I had to move out of the fucking way. And as you see, he got a pit. So after this lap, I ended up being in what position? I ended up being in 9th place. So 9th place is pretty good. I had to just keep the momentum up and just, you know, focus on keeping my racing lines or whatever fucking lines I was following, and just not losing control of the car. That was my main goal. My main focus was not to lose control of the car. Just keep the car under control. Like, if I could do that, then I'd be happy. That's probably one of my main problems, like, when I'm racing, is that a lot of times I can't keep the car under control. And a lot of times, like, when I'm racing, that I'll have like lapses and moments where I was doing really good, and in that one moment I fucked up, and either I lost control of the car or my braking, and you see he loses control. It was one of these where I don't think it was this one. It was one of these where I lost control, where the guy loses control, and then he gets into the way of the other guy, right? And then I had to go around, and he pushed the guy out the way. Like, he moved his car. I can't explain it, but like, he like bumped his car into the other guy and spun him around. He was able to get around the dude, and surprisingly, he didn't fuck his car up. Like, you're gonna see some crazy ass shit. Like, iRacing, the crazy thing about iRacing is that all the craziness in iRacing happens in like the first 2 laps. After that, you won't get much craziness. You'll get the occasional spin out, and it was like 4 people in this lobby. It was what the fuck? It was it was 20 people. My bad. I'm kind of burnt out because this is like the 5th video I've recorded, and the audio is not good. I gotta talk a little louder, but the reality is that it was 20 people in the lobby, and that's good, because usually when in lobbies, like especially the Race 1600, it's never like more than 12 people, and in this lobby it was 20 people. So I like that there's more variation and just more people to be able to race. Like, I like the 20-man field. You see somebody get off the track again. It was just a lot of spin outs. It was a lot of spin outs, a lot of people getting off the track. Surprisingly, I never lost control. The way I set up my brake, to where I can set it up right to the point to where I'm about to lock up, but not like right before then. Like, I don't lock up and I don't really lose speed, so I like my brake there. So I try to set my brake to where when I push on it, that I can get the braking that I need. Because you see, sometimes I don't really brake hard enough. It's because I have my dead zone set too high. So I have to set my dead zone a little higher to where I can brake. And yeah, this is where it was at. Spun him around, and then he was able to get around, like, bruh, and then I ended up getting a penalty point. Good thing he didn't touch me. Good thing he didn't touch me, because that would have been fucking 11 points. And I ended up only getting a 0.5 increase in my safety rating because I got off the track a couple of times, and that literal first initial like hit, and that was really what fucked me up. That first initial hit, and then next thing you know, it fucked me up like 4 points, and that's exactly what it be happening in iRacing. iRacing, you'll have those moments where that guy just managed to just not know where the fuck he was going, what the fuck he was doing, and then he'll just ruin your whole race because why? Because he didn't care. And then a lot of times in iRacing, I can tell you, a lot of times you get car accidents in iRacing for a few reasons. Number one, things that are out of your control, because the car just so happened to spin in your fucking direction, and now you get hit and you get the penalty points. Number two is when you're braking and you either brake too early and a guy just brakes and he just can't stop the car, and then he just runs right behind you. That's the other time. A lot of, as you see, I lost time here. He was able to get a lot of time. He got on that apex. I was just losing a lot of lap time because, like I said, I like to play it safe. A lot of times I can go out and try to be aggressive, but a lot of times I feel like when I'm aggressive, I end up just running right off the track. So I like to play it safe to just see like how much control I have. You see, the guy was using a lot of the track. I wasn't using a lot of the track. I was still giving out links, and then he was not dive bombing, but he was coming close to me at the right side. So I ended up just letting him pass, because at the end of the day, like, fuck it, I got 7 incident points. I don't want to get 11. And a lot of times, a lot of people in iRacing, they really don't give a fuck about who's in front of them. They'll just like dive bomb the fuck out of you and just throw you out of the way. And overall, his turning and like him hitting those corners, he was a lot better at that. I was able to keep it close for a minute, but it got to a point when I just got burnt out and I wasn't really driving good, and I was just basically like trying to survive. And a lot of times that's just not, it's like I gotta be consistent with my racing, and I just gotta apply my braking and my throttle to where I can get the feel that I want. I have the feel from the throttle that I want. I got the feel from the throttle that I want. I don't really have that from my braking yet, and my camera gonna freeze, so you're gonna see my camera's gonna freeze a lot. So just you know, saying I apologize for that. But overall, like, I just gotta get my braking to where I can get 80% and not have to like try hard, because I got the softer, I have the yellow spring because I have the Sim Rudo pedals. I have the yellow spring with the black elastometer. I like a lot of pedal travel, not a lot, but I like enough to where I can feel that I'm pressing on the pedal, and I can feel myself retracting the pedal back. And I can feel like the pedal is real light, so it springs back kind of fast. So I like that because I can feel like when I'm completely off the brake pedal, and it's been helping my car rotation a little bit. But I feel like either I have to learn how to rotate the car more, or you see another guy just spun out. I either got to learn how to rotate the car more, or I have to either turn my brake bias down. It was 58%, which that might have been too high. Like you see, that might be too high. But the only thing, I don't want to turn it down too low. I might have to go into practice and turn it down to where I can rotate the car and get a lot of the track. Because as you can see, I don't use a lot of the track. You see, I'm like there. I use some of the track right there. I'm losing control of the car. I got to kind of keep it stable, because I like sometimes like when I'm braking and the car is just shaking sometimes. So I have to like kind of I just got to kind of like make sure that the car stays stable into braking. I just don't want to like lose the car. I would rather play it safe and stay on the track than to try to be fast and then I lose a lot of time simply because I lost the rear of the car, or because, you know what I'm saying, I just decided, and I got another off track right there. So I ended up getting 4 off tracks, and I ended up with that 4 penalty points. So I think this car behind me, he about to turn out. Yep, he spun out. So he spun out, so it was only one other person behind me. I think towards the end of the race, I ended up getting like 6 seconds ahead of him. So I ended up in 5th place. So the crazy part was, like I said, 18th spot. I was in the 18th spot, and I went from 18th to, and you see, I don't know what was wrong with that car. I don't know if his car was broken down and he tried to, or whatever, but I ended up going right past him, and so I ended up staying in 5th place. And I think this blue car, I don't know what this blue car did. I don't think I got past this car. I think that was no, not the blue car. I think that was the purple car I didn't get past. But like I said, I was just trying to play it safe. A lot of times when I play iRacing, I know that I can, like, you can try to push, but sometimes I try to play it safe because, like I said, I'd rather be on the track than off the track. And it's better to play it safe and to just at least, like, kind of learn the lines and just know your limit. And know, like, okay, that's the limit, so you probably gonna, sometimes you might drive under the limit, and that's better than driving over the limit. But if you really want to learn the limit, you do have to drive over the limit sometimes, and especially in practice. Like, see, I got close here, and then I fucked up this turn, right? Oh, no, I didn't fuck that up, but I got close. I just couldn't finish it. I think I was one of them where I got real close on the braking zone. I got real close on the braking zone, and then I started, like, missing the car, and the car just felt like it was going to spin out of control, so I had to go and control it, so that lost me some time. So, I mean, I tried my best, but I just couldn't get close enough. And it's just one of those things where you live and you learn, and eventually you're going to get better, but it's one of those things that really takes time. It takes a lot of time and just a lot of practice, and like I said, I'm sorry, my camera, my webcam. It's that my graphics card is just not strong enough. So a lot of time it just had those moments where my thing, and it's on 720p. It's just like my computer kind of sucked. But overall, it's one of those things where you got to practice. You just got to get better. And it's one of those things, it's not going to happen overnight. It's one of those things you got to just keep pushing yourself and pushing yourself. But the thing is, I don't race a lot for me to get better. A lot of times, like, I don't like iRacing because it's stressing me out. Like, I had one race, I was in 2nd place, and then I got into 3rd place. The guy spun out, so I had to go around him, and then I was in 2nd place again. Then I went into 3rd place, and then I was in 3rd place, and then the guy in 4th place hit me from behind, and then it just messed my race up. And a lot of times when I do bad in iRacing, I get really discouraged because it just seemed like one bad moment could really fuck up your whole race. Like, you'll be doing so good, you'll be like doing everything right, and that one moment will fuck up your whole race. And that's how it is in real racing. In real racing, you'll have moments where you'll be doing really good, and then one bad turn, one bad moment, one bad situation can fuck up your whole fucking race, and it's a tragedy. And it's one of those things where at the end of the day, it's like I say, you got to get better. You got to just learn the racing lines. I don't know if iRacing has, like, where you can use racing lines. I think they do, but you know what I'm saying, I think they do have it where you can use racing lines, but I don't use the racing lines. I just straight up, like, try to figure out and gauge the corners, even though it's kind of hard sometimes because you don't get no feel from the car. So you're not getting any real feedback from how the car feels. Like if you push, like, having brake like if you have the brakes and you can feel how much pressure you gradually push and release, and, like, you don't get any real feel to know what exactly you're doing. It's hard for me sometimes to just gauge what I'm doing based off of inputs. Like, the inputs, like, you can get better off of inputs, but you need that feedback from the car so that you can be able to understand what you're doing and to better make adjustments from the feel of the car. It's easier to make adjustments because if you can feel how fast the car's going, you can look at a corner and be like, yeah, I'm going way too fast around that corner. But it's hard to do that because you're looking at a corner and you got to just gauge that you know what gear to shift to and you know how much force to put on the braking. See, like I was losing the rear, I was just losing the car and just sliding. This car is very slidey. And it's crazy that the last 3 laps that I did, I ended up setting the quickest time on my last 3 laps. Which, yeah, I definitely got faster because I was trying to catch him, so I was trying to be as fast as I can. But it's just like a lot of times, like, I just don't, like on that apex, I didn't really get on that apex. It's just like there are moments when I could be faster and I'm clearly watching why I'm not fast, but sometimes it's hard for me to know what to really do about it. Like I'm leaving too much arm's length. Like I don't know if I gotta brake later or if I have to brake harder. Brake later or harder, or like really how to brake. It's really about understanding like braking. And that's just the part where I don't get. Sometimes with braking, it makes it harder for me to really understand, especially when I don't get that feeling. And I need to get that feeling so I can know how much brake to push. And when I feel that pressure in, like if I felt that pressure in my seat, I'll be like, I can remember that pressure rather than remembering how hard I push the pedal. Sometimes like you remember how hard you push the pedal, but you're not getting no legit feedback from it. Right, all you're getting is that trying to get that progressive feel of a brake, but you're not getting that realistic feeling that you're getting from a car. And that's kind of what I feel like would help me in sim racing better, is getting more feedback and getting more feel from the car. Like I did a little better coming in, but at the end of the day, 5th place. But I started 18th. I started 18th and I ended up in 5th place, so that's not bad. I ended up getting 13 spots. I did end up with 8 incident points. I feel like if it wasn't for those times I ran off the track because of the other players, and I feel like if it wasn't for that 4, I would have had a higher safety rating. But it is what it is. But this is the end of the race because this is why I stopped and I ended up race over right here. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a fun race for me, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I really enjoy iRacing. Play it. Let's get to it, bitch.